Another podcast, another bout of verbal emesis. You're listening to Daniel's Nemesis. Turn off your ears and ignore your brain. Another week, another session on the radio. My co-hosting sessions have been getting longer, and for the most part, I've been comfortable with the equipment. Let's talk about getting comfortable with me, though. In the last episode, I talked about swiveling around on my chair a lot. At that time, I was conducting a quiz. Quizzes are great because they take up a lot of time, even if there are only a few questions. And I can get the other host to do
bullet points. In the last episode, the speaker discussed swiveling in their chair during a quiz, where quizzes take up time, allowing the other host to talk through answers.
However, I plan to devote an hour of radio to the music. Unfortunately, when I learned the songs I had chosen by
initially planning an hour on 1991 music, the host had to change to unscripted conversation due to choosing songs released the previous year.
Would you rather questions were a good staple of mine from teaching EFL? No matter the topic of the lesson, I could always introduce a free talking exercise. This is my However, would you rather questions were a last-minute addition and were hastily copy-pasted?
Would you rather questions, a teaching staple, were hastily added without much thought?
But I had to go. Consequently, the questions fell flat. My co-host didn't have much to say, and I had nothing to bring. Would you rather questions are party games, and they work better when there's a variety of opinions, not just two people agreeing with each other. I sat there mid-conversation.
Despite the change, the questions fell flat as the co-host had little to say, and the host regretted introducing the idea.
Also, I had nothing to say about music. They were all well-known tracks because I had played it.
The replacement songs were well-known tracks, lacking novelty.
My challenge with the unscripted conversation was that I was mirroring the main host, lacking a discernible identity of my own. I naturally mirrored Well, that's not true. I become aware that I've scrutinizing the details of the conversation later on. In any case, I was relying on my personality, relying on the other guy's personality.
The host struggled with mirroring the main host, realizing their lack of a distinct identity and the reliance on the other person's personality for content creation.
It didn't work.
Managing short links and time constraints. Learned from experience to keep radio length short.
A minute or a minute and a half.
A minute or a minute and a half may seem easy, but it becomes challenging with a live mic.
And you have to structure what to say next while already talking.
Planning what to say next while discussing another topic, even with advanced planning.
60 minutes is quite short for the show and is rather limiting, especially when playing music. It's challenging to set up talking points and maintain them throughout the show when you have to share contact information, provide specific health awareness details, promote the radio station's activities, and introduce lesser-known bands.
60 minutes is limiting for a show, especially when including various elements like music. Considering alternative approaches. With more time, having a feature referred to multiple times might be easier.
Alternatively, I could just play more music. I believe everyone.
Alternatively, opting to play more music instead.
In the following weeks so far,
Reliance on music for filling time and being a mask for personality. Admin promo from the station fills up talking time, eliminating the need for self-reliance on chat and banter. Scriptwriter approach. Approaching hosting like a scriptwriter, considering the latest point to enter a scene and the earliest to exit. Maximizing information in the least amount of time.
I may not have a charming while the radio station schedules their style. I draw inspiration from a number of the more specialist 6 music.
Drawing inspiration from specialist 6 music DJs instead of celebrity broadcasters.
Essentially, I let the music do the talking, and
letting music do the talking with the responsibility to ensure good music. Enjoying control over 60 minutes. Enjoying complete control over a 60-minute show.
I'm playing more off the beaten track music. Not a lot, but enough to talk about.
Playing more off the beaten track music to let passion shine through.
I spend a considerable amount of
spending considerable time choosing and arranging tracks.
Then I think about what little things I'm going to say in between and what jingles to use when songs...
Planning what to say in between tracks, including jingles for smooth transitions. Radio equipment overview.
Well...
database of songs in the radio broadcasting system. Tracks are lined up and played using buttons or faders.
They play through to the end unless you intervene to stop it.
Tracks play through unless manually stopped. Next track won't play until instructed. Hospital radio challenges.
Sadly, it's hospital radio. There's a particular vibe to the song selection that you would...
Hospital radio vibe in song selection. Dominance of Coldplay in the database.
I have many MP3s from my years of buying music, and I subscribe to a streaming service for new tracks or ones that I don't own. After all, but I have good taste.
Allowed to bring in personal music but faces challenges.
And this is where we come into a whole new area of problems.
CD player experience.
While being shown how to use the CD player,
forgot about automatic play for the next song.
Using the CD player for the desired song went smoothly, and when the track ended, I began talking. Of course, the next song on the album started...
Smooth use of the CD player, but faced a moment of confusion.
Despite decades of experience using CD players and music apps on a phone and computer, that basic user functionality we all expect momentarily escaped my mind. I don't plan to play many CDs since most of mine are old and in various states of condition. However, it taught me a
lesson learned. Always remember to hit the stop button.
A lesson I promptly forgot.
Streaming services and autoplay. Difficulty turning off autoplay on streaming services.
In a similar incident, I accidentally
played the same song from 2 sources.
By MGMT, the system's database.
Example, attempting to play Time to Pretend by MGMT with a clean version in the system's database but only finding the explicit version on YouTube.
In the studio, broadcasting live, after the prior song finished, only available online, I pushed up the fader to start MGMT on the system and dropped a little between. The other guy in the studio then initiated a conversation. However, something felt off. The music didn't sound right. It sounded more hollow. A quick check that I was playing the song from the database. It was also playing through my iPad on a different channel due to YouTube Music's autoplay, and I forgot to close that channel. Weirdly, 2 different versions were almost in sync with each other, which is why it took me a moment to notice. The iPad playback is quickly stopped.
Soundboard solution. Discovered soundboards for better control over MP3s.
Soundboards also enable me to trim tracks and program the player.
Ability to trim tracks and program playing manually ensures the next song starts only when manually instructed.
Perfect.
Technical glitch experience. Successfully completed an hour without glitches. Unexpected issue with the news not starting at the scheduled time.
The other guy with behind him was as baffled as I was. I had done everything right. A good minute of silence as he sat there trying to root things out. It turns out, technical stuff, someone had been into a pre-recorded show, managed to turn off.
Discovered a pre-recorded show had turned off the automation.
There was nothing I could have done.
Technical problem not within personal control but a learning experience.
So my one big glitch, not my fault. I am getting better.
Radio work dysregulates my mind, impacting post-show recovery.
I finish at 9.
Finishing at 9, even an hour's walk doesn't sufficiently help.
I need to start planning and become focused on the next week's show from the moment I
Immediate planning for the next week's show is crucial for mental regulation.
The trouble is, it often keeps me up.
This process often keeps me awake until 1 or 2 a.m.
I don't feel any dopamine, adrenaline, or anything else post-show. My mind is just processing.
Post-show, no sense of dopamine or adrenaline. Mind is in processing mode.
I'm highly critical and aware of all the mistakes. And the only way to clear them from
Actively
my
organizing thoughts helps clear mistakes and plan improvements. High self-critique. The next day is somewhat unproductive due to late nights.
And that's all I shall say for today. In the next episode, I get to talk about 2-hour shows. Until next time, TTFN.